Dear listeners, welcome now to our part two of the interview where we are addressing and highlighting the relationship between the Kenya Kwanza government and the Azimio. With Honorable Ogana here, everything is well sorted. Just stay tuned. My first question on this. The relationship between Kenya Kwanza government and Azimio has been dynamic with both cooperation and conflicts. According to your view and opinion, where does this relationship ending or taking us? Politics being concerned, being a matter of concern.
Number one thing is because where now the conflicts are coming from. You see, the very first time that Raila Amolo Odinga decided to change and shift to support Ruto, uh, there were different conflicts in Azimio. Yes, then some of the patterns, some of the individuals and the conglomerates decided to withdraw themselves, and they decided to get themselves different parties. So these things is most people are seeing this thing as a trend, as a notion that whenever we go in the street, this person calls one of our chief person and gets him something out of the pie in the government. So you see that this thing is now getting us to something that is not good to Kenyans. And in the near future, you will find it that Raila Amolo Odinga is just testing waters because we have one person called the current senator of Nairobi, Sifuna. Sifuna is saying that he will never support Ruto. But let me assure you this: when Raila Amolo Odinga will realize that that the waters has been stirred enough, this person will declare and fully support Ruto in the near future. And if he sees that there is a lot of oppositions and some of the people withdrawing themselves from him, he will say, no, let me do this, or let me support someone in these seats. So in the near future, these are the things that may be coming out from all this.
Okay, Honorable Ogana, the bipartisan talk between the Azimio and Kenya Kwanza, among many other parties across the country, at first was seen as a step of unity. But have this bipartisan talk brought any changes or any outcome, any meaningful results in the country, or it was just a political game?
That was a political game, and in fact, when you're talking about interest, that is now a capital no. Why? Because the bipartisan talk was to delay, number one, was to delay any initiative that could be taken by any other freedom fighter, any other very ardent revolutionary in Kenya, and any other movement that could take part in fixing the country. Ever since the bipartisan talk took over, what has been happening? That's why I'm saying there is no capital no changes that we've experienced as Kenyans. We start with education. What has happened? These people have ruined the machinery of education, starting all the way from the education models to funding models. Yes, so we find it that there have been several messes. When we go to the SHA, yes, in health sector, we have several messes taking place there. Corruptions going to their top notch. And another thing is that just around 2 days ago, health sector is the pivot, yes, of all the things that any human being would look up to, yes. And just 2 days ago, we have almost more than 600 hospitals withdrawing themselves in the SHA model and saying that they will never operate under that model. So what is going to happen? We are going to lose lives, yes.
Yeah.
And ever since we have bipartisan talks, this is now the last thing, yes. We've had several untouched and standing stalled projects in Kenya. No one is talking about them. Previously, we had these people in the Azimio team. They were talking about these stalled projects. They were talking about all these corruptions taking place. But ever since bipartisan talk took over, what has been happening? These things are going on untouched. So no change at all.
Now, Honorable Ghana, with this recent development in the country, especially in the political landscape, can we anticipate or foresee a possibility of a handshake between Kenya Kwanza government and the Azimio, or any formation like a coalition before 2027 general election?
Before general election in 2027, possibly, under one condition: politics is about interest, and Azimio is one of the team that took this thing personally. Yes, they are saying, because we've seen it in most of the cases, that politics is interest. When Ruto, the current president of Kenya, will give them their portion of the pie of their interest, they will form a coalition and they will have alliance ahead of 2027. But as I've said earlier, they are still testing the waters, the political waters. Yes, and these waters will cut across the Gen Zs, the teams in their different alliances. When these people will cool down, they will do what? They will form a coalition and do something ahead of 2027. Another thing is that before 2027, we've come to see that Ruto has mastered the art of politics. Why? Because in politics, it's a game of interest. To stop you and bar you from attacking me, what do I do? I give you what you need. That is it. So when this thing will happen, we are forming there will be an alliance and a coalition before 2027 very soon, and we are seeing it in the Kenyan politics.
Okay, we have seen the relationship between Kenya Kwanza and the Azimio, and Baba gave his men. They are already in the cabinet. We have Joho, we have, uh, how do we call these people? We have Hassan Joho, we have
Yes.
Opio and and we have Mbadi. And the time Baba was giving these people to Kenya Kwanza government, he told us they are experts. They are people who can deliver. Now this relationship of Kenya Kwanza and Azimio, is there in any way how it will shape our political arena, our economy, and all sectors?
Mm, this coming together of these two people, I don't know. I doubt if it will shape the landscape or the political landscape in Kenya, because in Kenya, rumors are what people do consider as truth. Because previously, the minister for minerals and so on, what was I think he has several corruptions and other shady, yes,
Scandals.
scandals. And just before that, it came out that Hassan Joho does not have proper academic papers, and these are the same people that Raila Amolo Odinga presented and termed them as very proper and people who are up to the task to serve Kenya. Yes, and then later on things came to a stop. I think the only reason as to why they did this was to seize and stop the political heat in Kenya. Nothing more.
Okay, Honorable Ghana, I know you as a man who has interacted with ordinary citizens, especially in your institution, and that is Mary University. There are many students there coming from different classes, different regions, and you have also interacted with the locals. What is the impact of this political rivalry between Kenya Kwanza and Azimio on the ordinary citizen?
On the ordinary citizen, I can say that, when we go to elect these leaders to ascend them to power, the one reason as to why we are doing this is to exercise our democratic rights. And what follows, we need these people to deliver. Then thereafter, we are seeing things moving up and down, people changing, people shifting, and whatever. So, as an ordinary citizen, this rivalry, yes, we are not getting what we expected. It is we are almost getting into the third term of this regime, and they have delivered almost nothing. So the economy is getting to the state of economy, yes, is stinging to the highest heavens. All sectors messing and going south. So these are the only reason. These things are affecting the ordinary citizen, yes, because their operations are not working. Someone is owning a school. We are having protest morning to evening, Monday to Friday, and so on. So when these things are happening, business closed down, all sectors getting to their worst state. So these things are now affecting, in most cases, the ordinary citizen. Yes.
As I was looking at my phone, I saw one of the citizens just posed a question. Why is it after every election, Raila Odinga is called to government? During the reign of Kibaki, there was Nusmukate. During the time of Uhuru Kenyatta, there was handshake. And now it is William Ruto who is in power. And we hear something like broad-based government. Does it mean the government cannot run without Raila Odinga? Or why is it after every election, Raila Odinga is in government?
Uh, I think that the government has just realized that Raila Amolo Odinga is having a political wave. He has a very ardent backup from the people from his motherland, and most especially from the Luo nation. Another thing, he has overstayed in the political realm. So what happens? So, in most cases, the government has also realized that it is a notion. When we call this man, give him what he wants, then Raila calls off all his demands. Yes, and in most cases, this is the man that has done all sorts of protests, all sorts of demonstrations, and these people have just mastered the Raila's act in politics. Yes, he has never denied anything. Oh, the last time when Dr. Miguna was almost swearing this man and getting him in as the people's president, what happened? He was given some envelopes. I think that's what happened. Then previously, we are being told it is out there. He was again given some envelopes. Yes. and then everything cools down, then he calls off everything to end. Yes. So that is what causes all this, because they know who Raila is. Yes.